Hi, my name is Tyler, and today we are going to learn how to graph cubic functions. Alright, the first thing that we need to learn is what is the parent function and what does it mean. So right over here, this is the parent function, f of x equals x cubed. Now let's get our points down and see what we have. So let's start with putting our x's in. We'll put 0, 1, 2, and we'll put -1 and -2. Now, to find y, we'll simply just plug it in here, and we'll see what we get. So, 0 cubed is obviously 0. -1 cubed is -1. -2 cubed is -8. So now that you see that if you have a negative number, and the exponent is an odd number, it will end up negative still. So that is why these are both negative. 1 cubed is 1, and 2 cubed is 8. Now let's graph this. We will start by putting our point at 0, 0, right in the middle, and then we will move on and put 1 over 1, 1 over -1, or -1, -1, 2, 8, 2, 8, and -2, 8. Now all we have to do is connect the lines in between. So we'll start with connecting these two, and then we will go down, up, and go up. And since this goes on simply forever, we will put our arrows. There we go. We have graphed our first cubic function. Now, you can tell that the point of symmetry is obviously 0, 0, because if you look at the points, they are the same for positive and negative. So if we had a 1, it would be 1, and if we had a -1, it would be a -1. And that makes the point of symmetry 0, 0. Now let's look at the domain and range. So, our domain and range, it would go past x forever, negative though, so negative infinity, and it would go positive forever, so it's positive infinity. Now the range. The range of this is similar to the domain, where it would be negative infinity, because it is going down negative infinity times, and it's going up positive infinity. That's what the arrows mean. That means it'll never stop, it'll keep going forever. Now let's look at the end behavior. So, as x goes to positive infinity, so that means x is going this way, that means f of x is positive infinity, because it is going on forever positive this way. Now, as x goes negative infinity, so that means it is going this way, it is going down, and it is going down infinity because of the arrows. And there we go. Now the zeros of the function is 0, 0, because the only 0 that we have is right here in the middle, which is 0, 0. And now that we understand the parent cubic function and what it means and how we graph it, let's learn the general cubic transform form. This is how we write a cubic function equation. So f of x equals a or 1 over b, another parentheses, x minus h, parentheses, a parentheses including all of these, and then you cube it, and then you add k, so plus k. So usually you'll either have an a or a b. You usually won't have both of those, and now I'm going to get into what all these mean. Alright, I have written down what everything in the equation means. So for a, that represents the vertical stretch or compression. The 1 over b would be the horizontal stretch or compression. The negative h would be left or right, so when you're graphing the x, it'll either go left or it'll either go right. And then the k represents the up or down of the point. Now that we understand what everything means, let's get into an example. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to describe the transformation of the equation according to the cubic function. So what we're doing is basically deciding what the difference is between this equation and this equation. So what has really changed? So, right here, we have a vertical stretch of -3. So there's that. And then we don't have a b, so there's no horizontal stretch or compression. And right here we have a -1, but you always flip the sign when you're actually graphing. So this makes it go right 1. So originally, if you just did -1, it would go left 1, but since you flip the sign, you make it go right 1. Now, for k, this means up or down, so we would move our point 2 up. So we would go up 2. Let's try another example. Alright, this is the next example that we have. So, this one reads, take 2x plus 2 cubed minus 5 and move it right 5 and up 7. So basically, this is the transformation that we just did, except it's in a written form. So basically what we do here, it says move it right 5, and this means that it's going left because you flip the sign, so it's negative. So if it's going left 2 and we add it right 5, then it would be x minus 3. And we keep the cube there because we didn't change it. The next thing it says to do is go up 7. So it's -5, so that means it's going down 5. So if we added 7 to that, we would be going up 2, which is positive 2. And it didn't say anything about the vertical stretch, so we're going to leave it as 2. And there you go, guys. That is how you take the written transformation and apply it to the actual equation. Now let's move on to Bella with some more examples.
Hello, my name is Bella Smiley, and today I'm going to be talking to you about 3 questions from lesson 4.2 about graphing cubic equations. So, we're going to start off with this first question, and it asks you to graph this equation right here. So, first we find the point of symmetry, which we derive from these 2 numbers. So we go right 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's it right there. And then, we're going to explain this a little bit. And then we go and look at this number right here, and it tells us where our second points will be. So we go up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 2, 1, 2. And then we go down, so then we go down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then over 2, 1, 2. So then that's going to be our next point, and this is our graph. So that is the graph of this equation right here. Now we have to write the equation of this graph. It's basically the reverse of what we just did on this page. So first we have to find these 2 numbers from this point of symmetry, right? So now we go 1, 2, 3. So 3x minus 3 since it's positive. And then up 1, 2. So it's going to be plus 2. And then now we have to find this number right here, the slope. So we go up 1 and then over 1, 2, 3, 4. So it'll be 1 over 4. And that is the equation for this graph. All right, now we have to translate an equation. So this is the original one right here. And then it was translated down 9 and then left 7. So this number goes with this one, and this number goes with this one. So these 2 numbers are talking about the y-axis, and these 2 are talking about the x-axis. So it starts at 7, and then it goes down 9. So 7 minus 9 is -2. And then we go from positive 5 minus 7, which will also be -2. So since it's a negative number, we add 2. And then this slope will be the same since all we did was move the squiggly line. We didn't change it to like make it wider or narrower or anything. It's the same squiggly line, just moved. So it's going to be 3. And this is the equation of this function translated. Alright, so that was my 3 questions on lesson 4.2, which is about graphing cubic equations. I hope you learned something today. Thanks for watching.